Hey everybody, this is Noah James Hittner with The Arc of Music. You can find us online at thearcofmusic.com. That's the ARK of music.com, where we discover and share the best music in the world you never knew existed. There you can subscribe to our free Music Discovery e-newsletter, which is how we regularly deliver new music and interviews just like this one to your inbox for free. Today, as always, we're recording in Madison, Wisconsin, and joining us on the phone all the way from San Francisco, California, is Pablo Cuneo from the new EDM band Nanoblu. How's it going, Pablo?
Oh, it's a great day, great day. How's yours?
Not too bad. I'm glad we finally got a hold of you here. I know we're calling you a bit late. So I understand you're in San Francisco now. Is that where you were born and raised, or was that someplace else?
I was born and raised in Berkeley, California, and then I moved to San Francisco, but basically I'm just a Bay Area guy.
Gotcha. What eventually took you there? Berkeley's not a bad place, correct?
Yeah, I just kind of like living by the beach in San Francisco, and I love San Francisco's diversity and just the city life and the club life. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, perfect. So before music, for you, it was actually theater, and that stems back to the 5th grade and then into college. When you were involved with acting, how much of your life was dedicated to that at the time? Was that something that was you were sort of eating and sleeping and breathing as well?
Yeah, definitely. I used to be a major theater buff. I just loved performing in front of people and expressing emotions and just entertaining people. So it was just something I was really into.
Sure. How much of your college experience was performing?
My college experience, possibly maybe like a year possibly. I was in the theater production program at Laney College.
Okay. So when did music begin to get more of your attention? Can you remember the moment or the inspiration that sort of made you not necessarily walk away from theater, but sort of distracted you away from that and then just into the musical world?
Well, what happened was I was a big metalhead before I came club, and I heard groups like White Zombie, Marilyn Manson, and I was like, oh, I really like these guys. And then I gradually grew into like Depeche Mode, Pet Shop Boys, and into this little J-pop group called Perfume that I really like as well. So that's how I kind of got into it.
Okay. So how long did it take for you to start performing publicly? I know that it started with your hard metal band Neurotic Delusion, and then moved into the electro rock with your band Sexy Northerner. And now you're with Nanoblu, the EDM, electronic dance group. How long did it take for that first band? Was Neurotic Delusion the very first band?
Yeah, the Neurotic Delusion was the first band in 2000, actually.
Oh, wow.
And then I went into Cuneo P, and Cuneo P was kind of the industrial side. So Nanoblu really is a culmination of a whole bunch of different sounds, from metal to industrial metal. So I finally came to it all when I had, wow, this is who I am. Sure. After all the songs, I felt like Nanoblu is what it is now, but it all started way back then. I've been doing music for a long time. It's like there's so much. Imagine a boiling pot. You throw a whole bunch of different music inside of it and start stirring it. It's really like that.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. So once you sort of left theater and got into music, how long did it take for you to actually start performing publicly as a musician?
Well, it started 2000. It started about maybe a year and a half, because it started off. I met this guy named Rich. He was this guitar player, really fierce guitar player, and then Louis, actually the guy who's playing the drums now, was in the metal band as well. So we played for a long time, and he also worked on some other stuff of mine on Cuneo P, and then he kind of broke off and did his thing by himself. And then it came, from that point on, we just been playing.
Sure.
Just on and off together.
Sure. So let me ask you this. Do you think, you've experimented with several genres, and I can appreciate that. I've done the same. Is this your genre now? Or is there another phase of your sonic journey to come? Do you think you're going to keep moving around a bit?
No. How I know this is the final stop is Nanoblu is simply that I love to make dance music. I know my style in dance music, and even when I listen to metal music, I just step back and go, that's so long ago, and this is who I am now, and I'm so sure about it. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, if I may give you an analogy, when a person says, I'm straight or I'm gay, wherever they are, they're so straight and they're so proud of how they say it, wherever they feel they are. That's how I feel about Nanoblu. Like, I am Nanoblu all the way.
Sure. So that's a night and day difference. You've got EDM now that you're doing, and you were doing metal. What can you sort of summarize that transformation? What drew you away from something as primal as metal and pushed you towards something a little bit lighter?
Well, I always felt like, yes, club music is lighter, but I've always felt like they're always the same in a sense, because they always have the same tempos. They have the stops, the breaks, when you sing something, and then you go fast, you go slow, you go fast, you go slow. So it's almost the same thing in my eyes, at least.
Okay.
Like, I can't really say, I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like that. Like when you hear our stuff, Nanoblu, and like you hear Sunshine, for instance, right? Or you hear Bliss on the album coming out right now, or you hear Rise, or you hear Full Evolution, 19th Avenue. Like you'll see the stops. Like it's almost, imagine a guitar playing a riff. It's almost the same speeds, the stops, the goes. I mean, it's almost the same thing, except we have electric sound.
Sure.
So to me, like when we jumped into EDM, it really wasn't completely leaving it, because I almost followed the same patterns of what I used to do before.
Sure. That makes sense. So Nanoblu consists of yourself, Myra, and Louie. And yes. How'd you guys find each other? And can you kind of briefly describe each of your roles in not only the performing process, but also the recording process? Okay,
well, starting off with Myra. Actually, that's my fiance.
Okay.
I met her
Congratulations.
I met her. Thank you. So I met her at my job, actually, and I was singing live. And one day we were in my garage, and because we were in the car, we just listened to music all the time. She put Nanoblu on, and she's just singing. She's singing Electro Buzz, and I was just blown away. I was blown away by how she sang, and I was like, oh my goodness! I said, you have got to sing with me. I was like, this is like, you're gonna come sing with me. She's like, yeah, okay, sure. So then that's how it kind of happened. I just kind of threw her in the mix, and ever since then she's been a pioneering person on how we do things. Like, she's very pushy about, I don't like the way that sounds. I think you should put this here. I think you should put that there. She's really into it. So
nice.
Yeah, she's a soulful person, but directive, dictator. But I love it, because what? In Nanoblu, we always focus on the whole, what can you do to make us better? It's not a I thing, it's a we thing. So I really like how she embraces that.
Sure, yeah. Feminine touch can improve a lot of things.
And then we have Louie. And Louie actually I was working the dining halls at Cal Berkeley. It's kind of funny. And we were in the dish room, and I'd be like, oh, you're Louie. How you doing? I'm Pablo. And we just talked. Wow, and then we all had the same friends back then, so it was just crazy. The crazy thing about Berkeley, everyone knows everybody. It's so crazy. It's such a small town. So, I knew him from Berkeley, and then I remember I was just like, this is when I was playing with Rich with Neurotic Delusion, and I was like, because the crazy thing about the Neurotic Delusion thing was, I lived upstairs in like a whole bunch of different hotel rooms, like those hotels, but they get turned into little apartment houses. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but that's what they were. So I was living there, and Rich worked at Hot Topic, and Rich was like real brutal. He was very aggressive looking, and I was like, dude, you need to come play guitar with me. You need to like do this. I was like, so then we ended up having him come on, and I had a session bassist named Bennett. He was a really nice guy as well. I like him. But anyways, Rich. So then we would go practice in my mom's house because we didn't live too far from there. And then from there we would just like we would just have Louis play drums. And I always told when even Louis played drums, I said, if you have a problem with anything, you're gonna tell me, and then we're gonna fix it because we are a group, And he really liked that idea. From that point on, that was just an erotic delusion. And then, that's how he got introduced into the musical world of what we're doing.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about Electro Buzz. There's literally tons of sound going on in the album, and I know that you and Myra sang everything, but who played and programmed all of those melodies? Where was all that coming from?
So the one that will let you know actually was Kedra, who sang on the album. Myra actually just came into the group later.
Okay.
Just to clarify things, Myra came into the group later. And in fact, on our second album coming out, which we're recording right now, she already sang on some previous tracks that I made, and then she added her take, and we're making some new tracks. So actually, you will be hearing Myra on the new Nanoblu album coming out later next year.
All right, then. Look forward to that.
That was Kedra. That was Kedra who sang on. Kedra Quinn. She was a very good singer, very very soulful and powerful. Because we always focus on his soul. But back to your question about the electronics. Mm-hmm. His name is Carl. His name is Carl Anderson, and I met him one day. I just was like, I need you to do some keyboards for me. And I always can like feel people. Like when I talk to people, I can look at somebody and be like, you got passion. There's something about you. And then what I do is I take that person, and they can have the minimal skill or they can have the best skill. And I'm hoping whatever it is I take. And lucky, I found out that Carl had 19 years of experience.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
helps.
was like, I was lucky there.
Yeah. Perfect. So
and Vince. One more thing.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I just want to tell you. And it was Vince. There's some songs on that album that Vince put as well. His name is Vince DJ Darius, and he actually also put some electronics on it too. So it's basically Vince. His name is Vince Hudson, or I call him DJ Darius. And it was Carl Anderson who basically put all the electronics. I put some stuff. I made some beats. I'm okay at making beats to the best on what I had to do. Sure.
Absolutely. And that's a great thing about indie music is it comes together how it comes together. You got to work with what you have at the time that you have it and move forward. And, sometimes not having everything you would want in a perfect scenario actually makes the music better. So
that's so true. True.
Yeah, when you have to scrounge, it makes things better because you're working harder. So you guys, Nanoblu, your vision for them, you have a rather altruistic hope and a goal for the album in that you want to create something utopian in the experience of it. So why is that important to you? Why is that something that is valuable for you?
Well, I feel like, I wrote most of the lyrics, and you're going to see, since I wrote the lyrics, I feel like, for me, I've always been the person who gets, like, when I see someone steal, I go, that's not right, in my mind. I know we can't all be right, I know we can't all be perfect, but in my heart, I wish we would all get along. I wish we wouldn't steal. It's very utopian or even in a relationship, some people love you for love and some people love you for money. And I go, why can't we just love each other for being poor and just get rich together? I mean, I've always had that little weird attitude, and people always looked at me like, yeah, there's something right about you about that one, right? But
hey, why not?
But I feel like that. In my heart, I feel like that's what that's what life should be. So that's why it has such a powerful utopian attitude, because in a utopian attitude, we would all just love each other for who we are, no matter what skin, no matter how much money you make, no matter what title you have in your life, no matter what it is, we're just happy and we all get along. So I really, really wish the world could be that way, and I try to help it by pushing some music out there that maybe might change some people like that. And some people might be like, whatever, and some people might enjoy it, but at least I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So what's next for you guys? I know you mentioned another album next year, which is coming up soon. What about live shows? What else you got? What else you got on your plate?
Oh yeah, well, we got this show coming up at the Brick and Mortar at 11/26, which is probably a Sunday, and not today, but the Sunday coming up. Right. Yeah, so we're going to be doing the shows there, and right now we're just pushing our music to the festivals, because we've been playing music in the city for a long time, and we've been playing music for Afton. It's a great company. I suggest anyone who's just trying to get their name out there, trying to get some publicity, go talk to Afton. They're good, but
No, is that a venue you're talking about?
No, Afton's it's a promotional company. They take your music. They say you have to sell a certain amount of tickets, and once you sell a certain amount of tickets, they put you on, and they put you in some pretty nice clubs to get your music out there.
Okay.
But you got to put the hustle. You got to got to make flyers. So you got to sometimes even bother people, you should check my group out. You got to check my group out. And you can actually hit those record sales, and you can actually get those fans. And you got to realize not everyone's going to like you, but hey, if you go out there,
sure,
it could happen.
Sure.
So, Afton gave us that shot, and I was like, wow. So we got shows coming up and festivals, hopefully.
Okay. Now, what this second album, you said it's coming out next year. You got a timeline for that, roughly?
Yeah. I think it's going to come out February 5th.
Okay. Okay, right on. Perfect. Well, we'll watch for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that going to be same genre, same style? Anything dramatically changing?
This album is going to be a tad bit. It's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little more defiant in some ways. It's not going to be as cute, but a little defiant. I'll give you an example. We have a song called "Lost," and it's I'm not a person who's lost. You can tell me right or wrong. What's on your mind? Let it out. So it's going to be a little. We're going to have a couple of more songs where, you ever talk to somebody and you're like, well, hear what I have to say. It's not going to be as utopian, but it still will have that utopian touch. But it's going to have a little more human interaction and not so light, but still light. It's going to be different, but yeah, it's going to be really fun. We're still going to have that club vibe. And I got a couple young geniuses. There's this guy named Joseph at my job, actually. Genius. I was like, let's go make a beat. And he made a beat in 30 minutes, and oh my goodness. So yeah, we got some really good
Some
people.
good young
and
talent. Yeah.
Carl's back on it, and this guy Joseph, I just picked him up, and I was like, I was with him, and I was like, you DJ? And I was like, yeah. Well, let me hear your music, because I support local people, because whether you're a superstar or you're local, support is the most important thing. I was like, wow. I said, you're gonna make me a song. He was just like, sure. So yeah, I'm really
collaboration.
excited about that.
That's the key. Yeah, the indie artist world is all about collaboration. So we're gonna finish up here with a little sort of desert island questions, kind of you must answer or die type of scenario.
Okay, definitely.
So want to know what's your favorite album of all time, and you can only pick one. If you had to take one onto a desert island, and it was the only album you could listen to for the rest of your life, what would that album be? My advice is to not think too hard. You got to spit out something, because otherwise you could think for 4 hours about it.
Okay, I have so many favorites, but I'll break it down. All right, it's called it's White Zombie Astro Creep 2000. Right off the top.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite albums.
Okay. Moving forward from that, now something a little harder. You have to pick your favorite song of all time.
Nee, N-E-E. It's from the J-pop. It's from the J-pop group Perfume.
Okay.
N-double-E-E-E. And two E's.
The group is called Perfume?
Perfume, yes.
Okay, I'm not familiar. I'll have to check that out. All right. You get to collaborate with anyone, dead or alive. They could be dead or alive. Doesn't matter who. Who would it be? You can collaborate with anyone, past, present, or future.
Pet Shop Boys.
Okay.
Pet Shop Boys.
I would have guessed that. I would have guessed that because I read it when I was looking you guys up and checking you guys out. There was a lot of Pet Shop Boys references.
Yes. Love Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, they were fun. They were fun. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, man. Well, I really appreciate your time. You got any other shout-outs you want to make while we're on the air here?
I just want to make a shout-out to you. Thank you for giving me this interview and giving me the time to get this music out there. And I want to thank all the Nanoblu fans and all the upcoming Nanoblu fans who hear us and like us. And, hey, thank you to all the local musicians out there as well. Let's all just push each other. Let's love each other, and let's just keep that beautiful attitude going. Bottom line.
Right on, Pablo. That's a good way to end the conversation. There's definitely a lot of potential negative influences in the world right now, and we appreciate that you guys are trying to do something different and keep things light and bright. So we appreciate you, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, and that'll do it for us today. Thank you so much to Pablo from Nanoblu for joining us again. The name of their new album is Electro Buzz. Please go to thearcofmusic.com and check out the album. There you find the links you need to listen, watch, stream, and download Electro Buzz. Thanks also to all of you out there for listening, and please don't forget to sign up for our free music discovery e-newsletter at thearcofmusic.com. That's the ARK of music.com. That e-newsletter supports all these indie artists that we're always in communication with and interviewing. And just a quick reminder to all of you hardworking musicians out there, if you're looking to have your album or single reviewed on the Arc of Music, simply visit us at guaranteedmusicreview.com, where you can order a professional, timely review and interview. Until next time, all the best to all of you. Take care. Ain't nobody